You tweeted just 24 hours after being told by the judge not to threaten witnesses, Trump appears to violate the judge's order. What now? Let's talk about the wonderful world of show cause orders. You'll have to explain what that is. The first one was, if you go after me, I'm coming after you. You said, in case you wonder why I've been saying there's clear and convincing evidence Trump belongs in pretrial detention, here's additional proof. So talk to us about what she should do and why. I mean, I think, as you just said, a speedy trial is the best is the best answer. But what does she do? Does she put him in jail?
So here's what she does. So a show cause order is when a defendant is on supervision, under court supervision. That can be a pretrial defendant, or it can be somebody who's on probation after conviction. In both of those settings, the judge sets conditions for the person who's under supervision. And if the person violates the conditions, then the judge has any number of possible sanctions. Here's what I predict she's going to do. What is a show cause order? When the judge gets wind that there may be a violation of the conditions of release, the court will issue a show cause order, which directs the defendant to come to court with his defense attorneys and show cause why he shouldn't be sanctioned, why his conditions of release shouldn't be increased, be made more severe, and ultimately why he shouldn't be stepped back, detained pending trial, remand to the custody of the Bureau of Prisons. Here's what she's going to do, I predict. I don't know if she's going to do it at the next court hearing on August 28th, or she's going to do it sooner because of the threats that he is posting against witnesses. She will say, listen, here are the exact conditions that are being set for you. Here are the do's and don'ts of your pretrial release.
Do be and don't be, like we used in school.
If you do one of the don'ts, guess what? I'm giving you, Defendant Trump, the keys to the jail. And if you violate a single condition I am setting for you today, I promise you, I will remand you to custody and you will remain detained until the completion of your trial. Do you understand, Defendant Trump? And then, Trump can't help himself. He will violate, and Judge Chutkan is just strong enough and just honorable enough a jurist that she will make good on her promise. And Donald Trump, I believe, is getting closer and closer to a jail cell and to pretrial detention.
Yep. Yeah, well, yeah, our friend Joyce Vance and yours said free speech is one thing, but this is over the line. As a prosecutor, I'd be sorely tempted to make a motion to revoke Trump's pretrial bond and put him in custody. Let him explain it to the judge. So does Jack Smith have to do that? Is this solely in the judge's court, or do you have to make a motion if you're the prosecutor?
Yeah, great question. So show cause hearings, when defendants are ordered to appear and explain why they violated a condition of release, can come into existence in one of two ways. Either the prosecutor can make the motion, or the judge gets notified by what's called the Pretrial Services Agency. It's an arm of the court that monitors people who are on pretrial release. Sometimes the Pretrial Services Agency will alert the judge to a possible violation of a condition of release, and the judge, sua sponte, on her own, will just issue the show cause order. As a prosecutor, I have been involved in show cause hearings that sort of came into existence in both of those ways.
So would we know if Jack Smith has done that? Or as you say, will we only find out if either August 28th or whenever the next hearing is?
Yeah, no, if Jack Smith files a request for a show cause hearing because Trump is violating conditions, that will be a public filing. Okay. That'll be right on the public docket. And if she does it on her own, it will also be on the public docket. So we'll know as soon as it happens. As I say, it may happen before the next scheduled court hearing if the judge believes it's a grave enough violation, or she may just wait until August 28th.
Okay. Last thought, Norm Ornstein said he didn't even wait a day to give the middle finger to the judge. At a minimum, he needs to be hauled immediately back into court to explain. One advantage of locking him up until the trial, his lawyers would immediately demand it be speedy. I mean, I hadn't thought of that part of it. I mean, that may be true, Although
I will say I had lots of pretrial detainees, and the defense attorneys would still continue the case over and over and over again, because delay typically is the defendant's friend. It inures to the benefit of the defendant. I don't think Trump will be so happy in an orange jumpsuit eating bologna sandwiches.
And might very well be invisible and is an escape risk, as we said, because it's a lot of orange. So, in terms of televising the trial, you tweeted, "Every American has been affected by Trump's effort to steal the full value of our vote. Every American deserves a seat at the table." I think that is a great argument. Who is it up to and when?
Up to the Chief Justice. He's the head of the U.S. Judicial Council. And here's the thing, and I'm going to be doing a video about this today, Steph. There's a federal law called the Crime Victims' Rights Act. It is the Victims' Bill of Rights. And it says if you are a victim, you shall not be excluded from the courtroom. Count 4 in the indictment, conspiracy to deprive us of our voting rights, make us victims under that law. And if you don't televise the trial, you are violating our rights as victims. And I think everybody, I'm going to try to do a cut and paste so you can send it to your elected representative. We all deserve a seat at the table because we are all crime victims, and the federal law gives us a right to attend the trial.
Yeah. So you're going on vacation this week. Now, if the Stephanie Miller vacation rule holds, that's when he will be indicted in Georgia, is while you're gone.
Yeah.
But but I mean, it's hard to know, right? The barricades are up. Fits the time frame. I mean, could be as early as today, right? But what do you think?
When I heard the barricades are up and traffic is apparently being either stopped or diverted in Fulton County around the courthouse, it doesn't feel like they're going to be stopping or diverting traffic for a full week without indicting somebody. So I have a feeling, even though I'm going on a very brief vacation for a family wedding, I hope, I can't say I hope, but, I would like to be here for it. But Steph, even on vacation, we're going to talk about this.
Justice doesn't take a vacation. Justice delayed is justice denied. Don't be vacation selfish, Glenn Kirschner. I gotta say, on the no one's above the law front, though, I'm glad that the sheriff there said you get booked, you get fingerprinted, you get a mugshot, because I think we are like, he's already gotten special treatment, and I am looking forward to people seeing what equal justice actually means.
Steph, if he were anybody else, he would be in pretrial detention. You get to detain somebody pending trial according to the law if there's clear and convincing evidence that they're a danger to the community. Donald Trump is the single most dangerous pretrial defendant in the country right now, and he ought to be in a jail cell pending trial, but it looks like he may end up putting himself there.
Yeah, and their argument, unfortunately, is, but that's why, because his supporters are violent. So if you put him in jail, there'll be violence. I mean, isn't it ironic in this vicious circle of right? That's why he's there, for inciting violence.
And we can't decline to do the right thing for fear of how the wrong people will react.